I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the City Code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chairman and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'd like to ask all persons who expect to give testimony tonight to please stand and be sworn in by the city clerk, including you too, Mr. Rodriguez, if you would just raise your hand.
You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. As per usual, we will be taking cases out of order this evening. Our first case will be via Zoom with Mr. Nelson Rodriguez, trustee on case number 23-1954. However, before we get started there, we do have a couple of other things to take care of. First is our ex parte communications. At this time, I'd like to ask board members if they had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide a hard copy to the city clerk to have it filed in the record. Starting, Gina?
Had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
Had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
Thank you, great. Okay, minutes of the regular meeting held on May 10th, 2023. I assume all board members have received a copy of the May 10th meeting minutes. If the meetings are acceptable, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, so our first case tonight will be via Zoom, case number 23-1954.
Case number 23-1954, City versus Nelson Rodriguez, trustee for the property located at 8525 Renault Boulevard. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-921, parking residential property. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on April 17, 2023.
So before you continue, Mr. Rodriguez, can you hear the code officer?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Great. This case originated proactively on April 17, 2023. My inspection at the time noted a vehicle parked on the front yard grass of the residence. This time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of April 19, 2023. Posted the notice at the door of the residence as well as City Hall. Copies were mailed, certified and regular mail to the registered owner, and an email was also sent with the NOV attached to the owner. On April 18, 2023, I received an email from the owner acknowledging receipt of the notice and advising the tenants to stop parking on the grass. On April 24, 2023, I was CC'd on a second email from the owner to the tenant referencing a yard parking situation, placing them on notice they would be responsible for any fines. During my inspection on April 28, 2023, I found no vehicles parked on the yard grass, so I closed the case and brought it into compliance. On May 6, 2023, I observed a vehicle parked on the yard grass of the residence. Since it was within 45 days and the violation reoccurred, I set the case for the MCEB. I'd like to submit photographic evidence that I have. Exhibit number 1 is the notice posted at the door. Exhibit number 2 is the vehicle parked on the yard grass.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
If we can, real quick, Mr. Rodriguez, we'll try and see if
He was provided those.
you provided these pictures?
Yes. Yes. Yes, I did see the picture.
Great, thank you.
Also, with those photos, I'd like to submit the email chain that I received from Mr. Rodriguez regarding the emails. Also, as of today's date, the property is in compliance, and I have an affidavit of compliance I would like to submit.
Very good. We'll accept that as well, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
Since this reoccurred, while they're in compliance now, do you believe, after communicating with them, that they're gonna continue to?
Sir, I can't hear you.
Well, do you believe they will continue to remain in compliance?
I hope so. I can't speak for him. I think with the email that Mr. Rodriguez wrote him, it was sternly worded. I believe they will be in compliance.
Any other questions for the code officer? Go ahead, Samir.
So there was one car in violation out of three, is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, and it's the same car.
It's the same car.
Thank you.
There's no other questions. Mr. Rodriguez, did you want to say anything?
I wanted to find out, I spoke to the tenant. She assured me that she was not going to do that again, that the reason she had done it was because she has a small child, and it was difficult for her at the time, taking this child from the end of the driveway. I don't see why, because it's not a very long distance, but that's what she told me, and that she was not going to do that again. And another thing that she told me is that she was going to be present at this meeting, and I'm not sure if she's there or not.
She is here? Apparently she is here,
Oh, she is there?
yes.
Okay. She should be allowed to talk and give her reasoning why
Has she been
she
sworn?
parked there, but she assured me that she is not going to do that anymore.
Okay, well, we'll certainly give her the opportunity if she'd like to speak. She's more than welcome. Is anything else, Mr. Rodriguez, that you'd like to say?
No, that's
Okay,
all.
thank you. It's gonna come up. Before you begin, ma'am, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Angela Mills, address 8525 Renault Boulevard.
Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so I informed him not that it was too far to walk. I left early in the morning, and I'm not gonna say I'm a bad driver, but I backed in and I didn't want to hit the car, so I backed on the grass. It was like 4:54 in the morning. I ran in, I fell asleep, overslept, taking my daughter to school. So by the time I came back out, I already had the notice on the car. That's all.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for the respondents? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 23-1954, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 8525 Reynolds Boulevard. The applicable code section is 12-921. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So, sir, you have been found in violation, but since the property's been brought into compliance, there will be no fine. And for your renter, same thing. Since it's been brought into compliance, there'll be no fine. If it happens again, what's the time period?
Within 5 years.
Within 5 years, it's considered a repeat violation. On a repeat violation, the fines go up tremendously. So just please keep that in mind, okay?
Also, on that, there's no opportunity to cure it, so.
It's immediate, right, yeah, yeah.
For each violation, they could be fined up to $500.
Right. Okay, thank you for coming in tonight, and thank you, sir, for zooming in tonight, and you are free to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're going to take a couple minutes to get rid of all this stuff, and then we'll be back with to take care of the rest of y'all. We're back in session. Case number 23-2365, please.
Case number 23-2365, City versus Gene Tickner for the property located at 6005 Soaring Avenue. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-861E6, fences maintained in good repair. Section 8-10213B, exterior walls maintained in good condition. Section 8-10213-1, protective treatment maintained in good condition. Section 12-9212, parking driveway standards maintained in good condition. And Section 10-35, sanitation abutting property maintained in good condition. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence of the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on April the 17th, 2023. My inspection revealed the east and west side wooden fence in disrepair. The exterior walls on the front and both sides of the structure were heavily stained or had faded paint. The front lattice enclosure is deteriorated. The driveway was stained with black mildew vegetation, and the sidewalk is not being kept clean nor sanitary. At that time, I left 5 door hangers with a re-inspection date of the 2nd of May 2023. My inspection on May 9th, 2023 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 24th of May 2023. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. Mr. Chairman, I reached out to the property management group Guardian Asset Management on May the 9th, 2023, referencing the notice of violation. On May the 10th, 2023, John Fabia from Guardian Asset Management Company responded by email that he had received the notice of violation for the property and that he was waiting on the owner's approval for the bids. As soon as he could get confirmation from the owner, the needed repairs would be addressed. On May the 13th, 2023, Ms. Tickner emailed me and stated she feels as though she no longer has an obligation to this property, although she is the owner of record. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on May the 9th, 2023, showing the violations.
We'll accept those, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the east side fence in disrepair. Exhibit number 3 shows the west side wooden fence stained with mildew. Exhibit number 4 shows the west side exterior wall stained and also the paint is heavily faded. Exhibit number 5 shows the east side exterior wall stained and faded. Exhibit number 6 shows the front exterior wall faded. Exhibit number 7 shows the front wood structure deteriorated. Exhibit number 8 shows the driveway stained with black mildew vegetation. And Exhibit 9 shows the sidewalk is not clean nor sanitary. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Yes. What's the difference between Exhibit 5 and Exhibit 2, please?
5 and 2. Exhibit number 2 is the east side fence in disrepair. Exhibit 5 shows the east side exterior wall. It's stained, rayed, or it possibly is also stained and the paint is faded on that side.
Oh, I see it, the inside, okay. Yeah.
Any other questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Just so there's been no effort to improve any of all the violations are still in place, and there's been no effort to improve any of them, as far as you can tell.
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
There are 5 violations,
Yes, sir.
9 exhibits.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Chairman, the respondent
Is here?
is here.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Tickner are here, and they would like to come up and address the board, please.
More than welcome. Come on up. State your name and address for the record, please.
You want my home address or the address we're talking about?
Your choice.
Jean G. Tickner, 38649 4th Avenue in Zephyr Hills. The violation is on 6005 Soaring Avenue. My mom passed away July of 2018, and I reached out to her reverse mortgage, who in turn told me that I have 3 options. I can pay the $275,000 owed, I can try and sell it, or I can walk away. And he said if I want to sell it, I had to get probate, so I had to get the deed in my name, which I did. I didn't think it was going to be a problem. I tried to sell it. It did not sell because I guess the market was not good at the time. So I wrote them and said I want to walk away. I have not heard from them since. I think that was 2019 that I wrote to them. And I'm thinking, okay, I haven't heard anything. I haven't paid any mortgage. I haven't paid any taxes. I haven't been to the house in 4 years. So I did not see that it was my responsibility. And I pulled up on the HUD.gov HUD homes, and it does show the 6005 Soaring, and it does show the Guardian assets. And we did try to email them, but they have not talked to us. They have not responded. I've never heard anything from this person that Officer Lori spoke to. So if I don't know, I can't do anything. So I don't think it's my responsibility at this point.
Any questions for the respondent?
Yes, so you're still the record owner of the house?
It still has my name on the deed, and from what I understand, my name should have been taken off. But at the same point, I'm not paying anything on the house. I haven't heard anything, so I'm thinking they took my word that I'm walking away. We haven't lived there for 4 years. Because they said I had to be out by a certain time, which I was.
Good.
So it's your contention that the Guardian, whatever.
Asset management.
Asset management is the true owner of the property?
It says field service manager, yes.
You haven't paid any property taxes, you haven't paid a water bill, you haven't paid a mortgage note, you haven't paid
Nope,
anything?
nothing. And if I don't get any of that in the mail, how do I own, I mean, I can understand my name's on the deed, but if I'm not paying anything for it, how is it my responsibility?
Who told you your name should have been taken off?
Nobody did. I just assumed it should have been taken off if it's not mine, if I don't own it.
Go ahead, Dave.
Maybe this is more question for Lori, but was the power on? Could you see if the power was on at the house? Could you see if the power was on at the house?
No, sir, I couldn't tell. I don't believe that it is, but I can't verify.
There shouldn't have been anything on, because when we left, I had everything turned off. And in fact, we don't even have any keys to the house. So there's no way I can get into it to do anything.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Questions for Lori?
Just one at a time, please.
Yeah, I just really a question more for the city attorney, like what, I don't understand, you know, what could she do to correct this situation? And why isn't the asset management company or the bank or someone, what's the legal proceeding as how this would go?
All right. Not providing any legal advice. But normally, what would happen is something would have to trigger the transfer of the property. Obviously, the deed is still in her name. That would be it the mortgage company would do a foreclosure and to be able to get the deed. Or potentially, Ms. Tickner could quitclaim deed the property to the mortgage holders. I'm not sure. And again, I don't want to be
No,
construed as giving
it's,
you any.
from what I understand, it's HUD, Department of Housing and Urban Development. That's the name of the creditor. So I'm thinking that's the mortgage then?
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Have you been in touch with anyone from HUD?
No.
All that you have been in touch with is with who, I guess?
With the lorry, with the thing I got in the
No, but
mail.
I'm sorry, mortgage-wise, the reverse
Nothing,
mortgage?
no.
Well, who told you to walk away?
I have got a letter when I sent to
Is it the Guardian Asset Management?
Novad.
Can I take a look?
Mm-hmm.
See if I can figure out who Novad is.
Apparently they're part of the HUD.
Totally confused on what's.
Yeah.
A year, no power. Doesn't it represent?
Okay. This letter back gives you what your options are. You have 30 days from the date of
Right,
2019. Pay the balance, as you had said, sell the property, provide the secretary with a deed in lieu of foreclosure. Otherwise, they should have started a foreclosure action, and I have no idea why they haven't. But you may want to call them and explore, if you want to divest yourself. Again, I'm not giving you legal advice.
Oh, no.
Talk
Well,
to
see,
them
I
about how to
did
do
that. I sent a letter to Novad saying I wanted to walk away.
No, but a deed in lieu.
But see, they didn't tell me whether it's a form or not.
Yeah, well, that's why I would talk to them.
Okay.
But I'm familiar with the deed in lieu being an actual document.
Okay, it is an actual document. Okay. Well, then that makes sense, but still, they haven't contacted me for anything.
But as of now, if her name is still showing on the deed, then technically we.
She's still the owner of record of the property. And, the other, it's still, I think, a year or two before, because I'm surprised that no taxes have been paid. I'm wondering whether tax certificates have been sold on that or whatever.
Yeah.
And eventually, probably more quicker than the foreclosure will be a tax deed sale. But anyhow, that's far away.
Okay.
And
Any other questions? Go ahead, Dave.
Ms. Tickner is still the owner of record.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Maybe this is less about the case or not, but if it's been sitting vacant for years with no power and no water, wouldn't that structure represent a hazard at this point? Could it be considered to be?
Well, we don't know how long it's been without power, so.
It's been 4 years.
But
We do know.
well, we don't know. I mean, somebody might have had the power back on at some point. We know it's not on now, but we don't know how long it's been without power, so.
The neighbor's mowing the grass.
Okay.
As far
great
as the
neighbor.
view from the street, the structure looks sound. I mean, the roof's not caving in.
There's no broken windows.
No. So from the street that we could look, open view, we don't see anything.
think your mic's on?
One at a time.
No, he's flashing,
Oh, Mike.
somebody's sound.
Somebody's mic's not on.
Mike's not on.
You? Okay, all right.
Aye.
Come on.
Okay. So anyway, so by all observations, the house looks safe and secure, and the grass is being mowed, and so it's not a hazard by at least not yet.
Well, it goes to the gravity of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. So, any other questions? Go ahead.
Can we
Sam.
see the violations again? The list.
I can tell you what the list is. The list is fences.
We had pictures, right?
Yeah.
The fence on you need the picture.
Oh, we had pictures, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to see them?
Yeah, can you put them? Yeah,
Yeah,
can you
if we
put
can
them,
put them
put them back up on the screen?
David, I have one.
Just a second. One question. As soon as Samir is done, you can ask.
2365, okay.
So we have fence that needs to be cleaned. Talking with the officer, right?
Yes, sir.
You got fence?
The fence just need to be cleaned, right?
Yes, sir. On the one side, on the west side, the fence would just need to be cleaned.
Okay.
On the east side, it just needs to be repaired and put back up, or another piece put back up. I'm not sure if that piece can go back on and
Probably
actually
needs
stay
a new
on,
one.
as I cannot go
Okay,
any
so
further than the front.
that would be easy enough, I would imagine.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Okay. And other cleaning as well?
This is where the wood is deteriorated around the lattice structure there in the front.
Okay.
This is where the protective treatment, the wood.
This is just pressure washing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Any other questions for the respondent?
Yes.
Go ahead.
When you lifted the property 4 years ago, none of these issues were in existence?
No, we were living there.
Oh, okay.
We lived there until about August of 2019, because they kept on giving me extensions to live there. And then I didn't want to be knocked on the door and say, you got to get out, so we packed up and left. And that's when I wrote a letter to them saying I'm walking away.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Question, this is more for the city, I think. If found in violation, and it goes to the lien process, does that lien inhibit the ability to do a deed transfer of any kind on the house?
Question is.
Yes and no. I mean, the lien will attach to the property. If it's foreclosed upon, the lien will be wiped out. If there's a tax deed sale, that does not wipe out liens of record, municipal liens of record. So that if we get this recorded before they do a tax deed, our lien would stick with the property. As far as the transfer of any, if they do a, deed in lieu, my guess would, the liens will stay on it, and the people who get the deed will get it with the liens on it. If they were to try and do a warranty deed, there'd be a problem. They probably wouldn't be able to transfer it unless the property owners acknowledge and will take it with the liens on it. If they do it with a quitclaim deed, then, it's just an as-is, and people taking it are taking it with all the liens on it.
So it's possible that she could try to get in touch with this Guardian Asset Management, and they say, okay, yes, send us a letter, we'll take care of it. And then it gets stopped in the process because of the way the deed's being processed, and that if there was a lien on it.
Potentially.
But
I don't know.
small, okay.
I can't predict what is going to happen. I'm surprised it's been sitting for 4 years.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, ma'am. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll try this.
Thank you.
I need to speak to them.
In case number 23-2365, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 6005 Soaring Avenue, with 5 applicable violations code, section 12-861, subsection E, subsection 6, section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B, section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection 1, section 12-921, subsection 2, and section 10-35. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Lori Smith, and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all of which received and entered as part of this record of this hearing. I further move that the said violations be corrected on or before our next meeting on July 12, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before the day they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past that date set for compliance. Upon that, considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $200 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it, just to open up for discussion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, the first, and I guess this is sort of an editorial comment, but the first thing I would say is, I don't, if our goal is compliance, I'm not sure what we can do to bring this property into compliance, actually, until someone besides the current owner is replaced, right? I mean, that's my basic concept, so, and I'm not sure that, I don't know all the legal ramifications also about a lien being, built up on this property. I don't want to do anything that's going to inhibit someone moving this property off to a different owner. That's my thought, so.
My thoughts on this too is I encourage the current owner of record getting to the point where she can contact these people. They either correct the violations or relieve her, officially relieve her, and take her name off those deeds and whatever, And I was going to make it $250 per day. That's the maximum, I guess, right? Because get somebody's attention. I don't know. This is just confusing me as much as confusing everybody else, but
Okay. Go ahead, Dave.
So just to make sure I'm understanding, your logic is to give her a number to essentially take back to this assessment management company.
Yes.
To basically say, look, you guys do something about this now, otherwise you're going to have a whole heap of money problems.
That's the idea.
Is it possible that that logic works in reverse, though? They've walked away from this property for years, and if she contacts them now and says, well, if you guys don't take this over, it's going to get a massive lien built up.
None of it happens until 30 days from now, so.
But I guess my point being is that, do you feel this would be a sufficient motivator without the company making the decision to just say, no, forget it, we don't want to deal with it, and basically eliminating her opportunity to sign off on that deed to somebody else?
And also I wanted to show that what Samir also tried to allude to, these are not really huge violations, they're violations, but they're not really something cannot be done within a week, maybe less, few days,
Yeah.
So I would see, giving them that 1 month to see what comes out of it. I think that's the only thing that I can think of. Tom can also maybe let us know something. I don't know.
I know right
Been
now
at the site.
there's no Liz pendants filed against Ms. Tickner right now. So there is no foreclosure proceeding. The fine is up to the board. I mean, you have to make that decision.
Go ahead.
I like the idea, Rod, without a doubt. And Dave, your comment, maybe they don't care. But with people moving into Florida, they may think, well, now may be the opportunity to sell it. I don't know. I mean, I think that, I like the idea of giving them 30 days to contact, the company and see if they are willing to finally, and I don't know how long it would take to actually, sign over the deed to them, et cetera, but if we come within those 30 days and they come back 30 days from now and these steps have been taken, then, at least we know they're looking at doing their best to relieve themselves of the property and have someone else take the responsibility.
Okay, Dave.
No, I can acquiesce to that logic. I think that's reasonable. I would only ask that we reduce the fine maybe by a bit to make it, in case it does go to a lien, to make the property a little bit more attractive. If we leave the lien and it gets to be exorbitant, there's a potential that the property becomes so unattractive that it just won't sell. And, to Bill's point, our goal here is to get the house back up to par and looking nice for our community.
There are 5 violations. If we went by our old rule, it's 225, but they're very simple violations. That's why I did the 200, just mainly to enforce. I'm really hoping, and I think that's what happen. They would drive the lady here to contact and get a resolution as fast as possible.
So, just as a final comment, if they continue to do as they've done and just say, I'm done, this isn't my problem, there's a good chance that this is going to go in default anyway, right? And
They'll be 125,
I mean, if that happens, then the violation or the fine doesn't really matter.
I can ask if everybody comfortable to do 125, I'll do it, but I think the 200 would catch the attention of a lot of people.
You made the motion, it's your decision.
Yes. I'll stick with it.
Any other discussion?
Because I want a quick resolution.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion does not pass. One yea and the rest were nays. So we need a new motion.
Do I have to do the new motion?
No, anybody can do the new motion.
I can do the motion.
Okay.
Same text? Read the same script?
Same text.
All right. In case number 2365, I move the city as proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the city of Temple Terrace exist on the property located at 6005 Soaring Avenue. 12-861E6, subsection E, subsection 6, 8-102, subsection 13, subsection B, 8102, subsection 13, subsection 1, 12-921, subsection 2, 10-35. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before the July 12th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they're ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $100 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second, any further discussion?
Can I just mention something?
Absolutely.
That, probably Ms. Tickner has considered as far as with a lien and a fine and not taking care of these violations is the idea of cross encumber. Sounds like you have a property in Pasco County. If this order gets recorded in Pasco, it will cross encumber on any non-homestead property that Ms. Tickner owns. So that's another kind of reason we got, they may want to take care of this violation and not have a lien on it regardless, because the lien goes in your name and will cross encumber potentially cross encumber on other properties. Yeah, I'll try and answer it.
It's under homestead.
Okay, so it won't attach, but if you have any other properties.
No.
But I just wanted to make sure you
Okay, no,
kept
just
that
that
in
one.
mind.
Thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Okay, so what has happened is you have been found in, the property has been found in violation. You have until July 12th to bring the property into compliance, which means those 5 violations need to be cured one way or another. If the property is not brought into compliance by July 12th, a fine of $100 per day will begin to accrue. However, if you have made some sort of progress with Guardian Asset Management or HUD or whoever, please come back on July 12th and let us know. And at that point, you are welcome to ask for an extension. I cannot guarantee that you will get one, but you may ask. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case, 23-1884.
Case number 23-1884, City versus Lambro Tampa LLC for the property located at 5450 East Bush Boulevard. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 12-1047 landscape maintenance, maintained in good condition, and Section 12-1049 landscape perimeter. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on April 12th, 2023 for lack of a functioning irrigation system and for lack of required continuous landscape perimeter hedge. I emailed the site's property manager to let them know what the issues were and provided a reinspection date of April 26. My reinspection on April 26, 2023 showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of May 22, 2023. I emailed the notice to the property manager, and a copy of the notice of violation was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My reinspection on May 23rd showed no change, so a notice of hearing is prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the June Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on May 23rd.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 2 shows the dead or damaged shrubs. Exhibit number 3 shows the dead or damaged shrubs. And exhibit number 4 shows the dead or damaged shrubs. The site is not in compliance, and I'd like to seek a ruling. I did see contractors there working at the site today, and a representative for the property management company is here as well.
Okay, great, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, the property owner is here, you said? Come on up, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Matthew Seifert.
Hang on, before you get started, could you close that door? Make sure we can hear you.
Sounds good.
All right,
Good.
go ahead, thank you.
Matthew Seifert, and the address is 5450 East Bush Boulevard. Basically, we were in between property managers. I've taken over the site now. All repairs have been made to the irrigation system, and all of the bushes have been replaced. We're also implementing a new contractor that manages the irrigation on a monthly basis. I took a couple pictures. They're not great, but the bushes have been replaced, so I'd like to see these. That's the best I could print out at the hotel, so you have to bear with me.
Another house for sale.
Yeah, I saw it. Could be a really good price.
Well, you got a $276,000 lien.
Oh, well, that's true.
Any questions for the respondent? So you're saying as of today, right now, this moment, the irrigation is fixed and the shrubbery landscaping's been replaced?
Correct. They fixed the irrigation first. There was a mainline water break, which they repaired, and then replaced the bushes.
Okay.
You too.
Any questions for the respondent? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right.
Go ahead.
Get my little cheat sheet out here. All right, in case number 23-1884, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 5450 East Bush Boulevard. The violations are section 12-1047 and 12-1049. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before our next meeting, which is
July 12th.
July 12th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violations, any actions taken by a violator to correct the violations, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion?
Got it.
Seeing none,
I had,
you have something you want to say? Go ahead.
I wanted to mention, since the gentleman is saying that he's in compliance right now.
Yeah, but we don't have an affidavit of
Well,
compliance.
we don't have, so he did not catch you to show you that he's in compliance? Sorry for Doug Allen.
As I stated, I do see contractors working on the site today, but I wanted to wait at least another 10 days to 2 weeks at most to make sure that the system is functioning and that the new shrubs do survive before I submitted an affidavit of compliance.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So, sir, you have been found in violation of the two code sections. I realize you say it's been fixed. However, you have until July 12th to ensure that it truly has been complied. If it's found not to be in compliance by July 12th, then a fine of $25 per day will ensue. If it is in compliance, you'll get an affidavit of compliance. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next case, please.
We're gonna go to unfinished. It's gonna be the first one on unfinished. It's case number 22-1311. City versus Allensbeck and Dunya Terrace for the property located at 5106 East 122nd Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
I just wanted to let the board know, in case maybe you forgot, I know you hear a lot of cases, but this case it goes back several years. The home was destroyed by fire, and some permits were needed before. Dunia had obtained the permits and was having some contractor problems. She has been able to secure a couple of the permits that are necessary, but she's here this evening that could give you more of an update pertaining to her contractor and what permits she has acquired at this time.
Great, thank you. Come on up. Be sure to state your name and address for the record.
My name is Duna Ramirez Kadarsev, address 5106 East 122nd Avenue, Temple Terrace, Florida 33617. Good afternoon. As for today, the last time that we spoke, I was missing 4 applications. I believe air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and I cannot remember. I'm sorry. But only at the last minute, everything was ready. But then we were missing a plumber for a while. I did get my contractor got in touch with the plumber, that he went over the property, he gave it prices, and then we explained him that Terrace, it works different. Like, he has to register with Terrace, but for some reason, people are afraid of Terrace. I don't know, they say Terrace are very picky with their work, so believe me, people are afraid. So I didn't hear back from him. He never returned calls or anything. So I have to find another plumber. And this one actually is already registered with the Terrace City. So the only thing that we'll need is just like to add it to the existing permit application. And today he couldn't make it. I was explaining Lori this morning. And I thought he was gonna make it, but he couldn't. Already, like this second plumber, already got a little bit angry because he felt that we were like rushing him. So I mean, I cannot afford to lose this one too. So I told him like, okay, please, just whenever you can. He said that today he submitted his own application, and also he had the application and he gave it to the contractor. And tomorrow morning around 9, the contractor should be submitting all the paperwork needed, which I think it was the plumber. And I thought once he submit that, he can just pay for the permit. But Dallas just told me that he needs to pay, but then not right away. I mean, they have to get it in the system. I mean, it should be shorter, but he can probably tell specifically how long. And after that, then we can put, we can put the electric pole. It's already made. It will be just put it on the ground. I thought it would be something also very easy, but it has to be put a specific way, because also has to be inspected. And I didn't even know that the electric pole has to be inspected. So even after I will get the permit, then we set up the pole, and then I will have to wait for the city to go and inspect the pole. And then when it's good to go, then I will have to call TECO for them to come and install the electricity. And then from there we can go on. My contractor said that he's ready to start. He has everything already. He's ready to start. But then he needs electricity. Okay. Because electricity was shut down long.
So the only permit you're missing at the moment is the plumbing?
Well, we have it on hand. It's just the
Yeah, it's just a matter of getting it down to the city so that they can.
Yes,
do what they
tomorrow
have to do
morning
with it.
he should be in the city. Like I say, he will be putting the plumber, which is the last thing needed. But as far as Dallas told me, I mean, they're not gonna, he's not gonna be able to pay for the whole permit, so we can install the building right away tomorrow morning, because I guess it needs to be put together. I don't know how long after he drop it off. I don't know how long from there until the permit is ready to pay and pick it up, and then we can put the post.
So Dallas, you think there's going to be any issue if we gave her a 30-day extension? Okay.
No issue.
Okay.
It'll be done.
I assume that's why you're here.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
We're here again.
All right. What's the pleasure? I need a motion.
Yes. I move in case number 22-1311 to give an extension for an additional 30 days for our next meeting on July 12, 2022. 2023, sorry.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Okay, so you have an extension until July 12th. Fingers crossed. If, you know the drill, if something happens and you don't get your permit and whatever, you're gonna have to come back and see us again.
I have one question.
Sure.
Let's say I already get the permit. Let's say I start. I mean, electric poles, and then after that, we need to remove some old framing from the house. Also, one of the things one of the things that it also took along is the ceiling. Since the first time that I did the architect did the plan and everything, the first time that it was approved, and they did the demolition, only I got to see the plans, and I since the beginning said I wanted 12-foot ceiling. I'm so sorry. Maybe that's like I'm short person and I need more space for some reason. So the architect, it didn't put that, and also did some changes that I didn't like. And that's why also the second time it took longer, because he had to go to his engineer, and then I really didn't know it was gonna be such a big deal, like just these 2 foot. So I'm sorry
The
too.
violation is the permit, so if you get your permits, all that other stuff is between you and your contractor, okay?
But after that, because I know that what they want is get stuff going.
Vi-
Like,
Can I just add something?
Sure.
The violation is not the permits. It's a
Yeah,
public
it's the-
nuisance that there's no construction going on for more than
Yeah, but if
180.
she gets her plumbing permit, and then she can start with the pole and all that other stuff, and that would satisfy you guys, right?
Yes, once I see progress on the,
oh,
on the
that's what
property.
I wanted to know.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted
Yeah,
to
so
know.
it's,
We need to see progress.
Yes.
but your issue with an 8-foot ceiling or a 12-foot ceiling, that's between you and your contractor, okay? You guys get
Sure,
that
sure.
worked out.
Yeah,
Long as you get your pole up and you get your electricity going and they start doing something out there, then these guys will be happy and then we'll be happy,
Yes.
okay? And eventually you'll be happy.
Remember, I just wanted to mention something, is that allowed?
Sure.
That's why, we did the 30 days. Tom wants to see by July 12th, there is a progress for him to issue the affidavit of compliance. Your permits were the vehicle to get to the motion that you're getting progress. Okay. Just wanted to mention that.
That's right. So you got your extension. If anything comes up that you got a problem, you have to come back and see us on July 12th, but good luck and thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Happy Father's Day.
Well, thanks. Thank you. Next case, please. Should be 23-0734.
Going to be under unfinished business. It's case number 23-0734, City versus Joseph and Alicia Tessaseca for the property located at 9804 North 55th Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Just remind the board what the violation is. Just a second. What do you call for it?
Yeah, the violation, the original violation, or the violation, is for the cluttered carport and the cluttered driveway, just to refresh the board's memory after a couple months.
All right, thank you.
I'm going to have to
Okay, yes. Just also, I'd just like to add, the board gave Mr. Tessaseca's 2 months.
Last time they were here, yeah.
Yes, okay, so just to make you aware of that.
Thank you.
I have to swear her in.
Say again?
I have to swear her in.
Oh, you have to swear her in? Okay. Raise your hand, right hand, ma'am. You have to get, you have to get sworn in.
Tessaseca, just raise your right hand. They got to swear.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, okay.
Okay, before you begin, state your name and address for the record, please. Name and address. Your name and address.
Name and address.
Alicia Testaseca. The address on this sheet is wrong. My address is 9804 North 55th Street, and it's the reverse.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Since I was here last, I feel that I have made a lot of improvement on the property. I have worked and worked and worked. Even in 90-degree heat, 100-degree heat, I've been out there working. But like I said, there was a lot to do, and I still have a lot to do. And I am working on it every single day. So it's not finished. It's not finished because I have to have more time, like I said in the first time that I met with all of you. So that's all I'm asking for. I'm not denying not doing the work or anything like that, but there's still a lot to do. I've had help. I've had some help from my godchild's 2 boys and my nephew, but like I said, I still have a lot, I still have a lot more to go. It's a lot of improvement. And no one knows the amount of work that I've put into it except me, because I've done the work. And I stand here before you, and I'm so tired, I can just flip over and, but I'm willing, I'm still doing it. And I just cannot, I just can't have, all these limits and all that. I have to be able to do it and be happy doing it and not have to worry about anything. I just can't work like that. I just cannot do, my life cannot be like that. Like I said, I'm not denying doing the work, and I'm doing it. But I just need more time to finish the job.
Thank you.
And I'm not, trying to be nasty or anything like that. It's just that I have to have more time. And then when I get the work done, when it's all finished, then you can judge me. But like I said, I'm still working. I'm still working at it. And I have done a lot of improvement, even though my neighbor here can tell you that I'm out there every single day working. In fact, last Friday I thought I was going to have a stroke because I got feeling so bad. It was so hot. But I came inside and just cooled off and went back out there again. But it's just impossible to get the amount of this work done within time limits. It's not feasible. It's not feasible. And like I told you before, I'm the only one that's out there doing it. My husband will hold a bag open for me or something, but he can't do anything. So I'm doing the best that I can. And I don't want, I'm tired of seeing a little truck parked in front of my house there, trying to see what I'm doing or whatever. I'm doing the work. I'm not a child. I'm trying to do the best that I can, but I can't have intimidation. I can't have. I have to work happy. I have to work at what I'm doing, and not have to worry about. Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? Are they going to do the other? I can't live like that, and I can't work like that. And a person should not be able to have to be like that all the time. I'm exhausted. I can't remember when I've gone to a movie or when I've gone to a concert that I love or a play, because I'm working all the time, 24/7. I'm work. I go to bed late at night because I can't sleep. I'm so exhausted. I get up in the morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'm headed outside. I'm trying to beat the sun. I'm a diabetic. I can't be out in the sun a lot because of the medication that I take. But like I said, I'm not telling you no. I don't want to do the work, or I want to finish. I want to get my place back in order.
Okay, thank you.
But I just have to have the time to do it, and the ability to be able to not have to be so stressed out with having time limits and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm very tired. Is all I can tell you. Very, very tired.
Thank you. I think we understand.
I want to do the job, and I am doing the job, and sometimes, and now I have a back problems, so now when I do the job, I sit down. When I feel that I need to, then I get up, start again, and I'm telling you, it's hot out there, but I'm still working. I try to work where there's shade and then go to another area. If that becomes too sunny, I have to go to another area. Because like I said, I'm not supposed to be getting a whole lot of sun. I'm a diabetic, and the medication that I take, you can't do that with. But I continue to do it because I know I have to do it, and I have to finish the job and get my place back in order. And besides, get you all off my back, you know, so that you can be proud that I've done this work and that I'm just, you know, willing to do it.
I think we understand.
That's what I can tell you. I can't, you know, I can't tell you anything else. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it to you.
You've done a very good job, thank you.
You know, I'm just exhausted. You know, but I want to go on, and I want to get it done, and live a nice, happy life. You know, that's all I'm asking for.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Doug, would you mind coming back up real quick?
Yes, please.
We have questions for Doug.
I have questions for Doug.
Me too.
So, is there progress being made out there?
It's difficult for me to say that there's been any progress, sir.
Okay.
There are firms that offer that service to go in with people and get it separated and sorted and organized for the property owner, but they have to be willing to have that done.
Yeah.
Can you recap the violations again?
Basically, storage on the driveway, bags of various materials, storage in the carport of various bag material.
Any chance we can see the pictures again? I kind of remember them.
Are there any new pictures?
I don't think there's no new pictures. Right?
Just a reminder, this was a neighbor complaint that we received. And
We gave, last time they were in front of us, we gave them 2 months.
Right.
In the 2 month, you cannot tell what percentage has been done?
I can't see any difference on the carport, and I can see very little difference on the driveway.
Okay.
Do you want us to get the pictures from the last time we presented this?
I don't know that it's necessary. I think we get the gist. So come on up, state your name and address for the record, please. Come on up to the podium.
I live right next door to her, and I
And
did.
hang on, before you start, name and address for the record, please.
Lindsay Bryant, 9806 North 55th Street.
You have to be sworn in too. Hang on, raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. I just wanted to say that, I mean, he said he didn't see a difference. I really have seen a difference in the driveway. A lot of things that were there have been moved out, so there is definitely a difference.
Okay, thank you.
Just wanted to say that.
Appreciate it. Yes.
In this case, and then this is for Tom, you think another 2 months, would we see any difference?
I think you're gonna see a small amount of progress.
Is the complaint still current?
Sure.
They keep calling
The
you?
violation is still,
No, I know the violation is there. And I know it was triggered by a neighbor.
right.
Is the neighbor still complaining?
No.
I want to give her 60 days.
You're the board. Yeah, that's your decision.
You can make the motion.
My only concern is what's going to happen if that 60-day comes, and I'm sympathetic for sure. But if we don't see any progress or any significant progress, and I understand that she's saying, you know, she can't work under deadlines, and
I remember
appreciate
the
that.
case. It's probably the complaint was more of the driveway. Now it's.
Well, it's the driveway and the carport.
But the fact of the matter is it's still there. And whether someone's complaining or not, we still know that the violation is there. So we can't just forget about it.
And she's saying that she's did all the effort and she's doing everything that she can to.
We also have the code enforcement officer saying there hasn't been much progress.
Well, and the neighbor says that there's a lot of progress.
Yeah. So it's certainly, it's,
You know, I believe both of them.
well,
but,
make the,
you know,
make the motion, we'll see how it goes.
The neighbor that made a complaint.
Well,
Sorry.
Yeah.
do you have any problem with the?
My
Hang on a
fear,
sec- hang on.
just tell you, my fear here is, God forbid there's ever a fire here, is that carport will she be able to get out the front door to get out of there if there's a fire in that structure?
Oh, it's obstructing, there's a lot
The
of,
carport is completely cluttered.
Or could the fire department get in to rescue them?
So my concern is her safety, her and her husband's safety. It's not just, a pile of trash in the front yard. It's the cluttered carport where the front door is.
Ernie, did you want to say something?
do you have any problem with another 60 days? And that would be my final 60
I
days.
can't, you're the board, you have to make that decision.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with another 60 days, but you have to make that decision.
Ernie, did you have something you want to interject?
I just didn't know whether anybody wanted to ask the respondent if she's willing to try and hire somebody or find some sort of help on this. Otherwise, I don't know if it's worth asking or not.
Yeah.
The problem is, I was gonna ask her that,
He's got his hand up.
Hang on a second. Just
not here.
not your turn yet. Go ahead, Dave.
Actually, I have two quick questions.
Go ahead.
First, Doug, the debris in the front yard or near, I don't know how better to put this. We're coming into hurricane season. Does it have the potential to be picked up by like a 30-mile-an-hour wind and flung across the street?
A 30-mile-an-hour wind, I wouldn't think so. If you got into hurricane force winds, there's that possibility, yes.
So there's a chance that the stuff sitting outside could spread through the neighborhood. Okay, that was the quick question. My question for the respondent is, and I can't think of a better way to phrase this, but basically, if we were to grant an extension on this, given the experience that she has over the last 2 months, can she give us an estimate of when she would be done? I think it's fair to say that she's done 2 months worth of work. She's worked very hard. She should have a good concept, or at least intuition, of how much work is remaining.
Does she hear us?
I don't know. That's the question I want to ask. I'm just not sure how to.
Well, can you ask her if she thinks,
If you have a concept, if they give you 60 more days, do you think that what could you accomplish in those 60 days?
No, ma'am, that's not what I was asking. What I'm asking is, given the amount of work that she's already done, how much longer will she need to complete the work?
How much longer will you need to complete that? That's what he's asking.
What I need to do right now, probably another 3 months would do it. To complete
3
it.
months or
Yeah.
60 days would be 2 months. That's what they're offering.
Oh,
2
then,
months.
then I'll, then,
You think you can do it in 2 months?
well, all I can do is tell you, I'm trying.
Can we,
Depending if it's.
Rod.
The elements, if it's raining, I can't get outside.
It's a fair question.
I want to get it.
I'm not denying not doing the work, I just have to have more time.
all right. So I think we've heard from her.
one more question, and I like Ernie's question too, if she can also hear that. Did she try to hire professional help? Is that,
I can't hear him.
He's asking if you tried to hire help to help you get that taken care of.
Have I tried to get?
Did you hire anybody to help you?
Or even get volunteers, somebody to help.
Yeah.
Did anyone help you? Any volunteers? I know your nephews helped you one day.
Yeah, my nephew, then my godson's two boys, but right now, they're working too, and they have theirs. They go to college, and, they.
I think the short answer is no.
I can do the work, it's just that I need the time.
Okay, we need thank you. We need a motion, gentlemen, and ladies.
I got just a quick question for Ernie.
Go ahead.
I don't know how it all works, but do lien reductions, could it get incorporated? Like for her, it's outside of our jurisdiction, I understand that, but like if we don't find for an extension for her today, is there a possibility for her to go and get that reduced later
Yeah,
on if
yeah,
she takes care of it.
Absolutely.
It's all through the city attorney now.
And it's open to every citizen. There's parameters, and has to be in compliance for a certain amount of time before you can ask for lien reduction. But that's available to every citizen.
Thank you.
Okay, we need a motion, gentlemen. Ladies, somebody.
I'll take it.
Somebody.
Do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Wants to do it.
I don't know if you're gonna like it, Rod. I don't know which.
But all you're doing is whether or not to give her an extension.
Yeah.
So it's not written.
I move.
You move to either to give a 30-day extension, a 60-day extension, 45-day extension, or no extension.
I move there be no extension.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Let's do a roll call, starting with you.
Nay.
Nay.
Aye.
Nay. Aye.
Aye.
So so we have 3 ayes,
3 and 3.
3 and 3, so I'm the tiebreaker? I'm gonna vote no. I think we should give her another 60 days, and then that's it.
I agree with that.
I think maybe 30 days is a good idea, but I have no problem with 60 either.
I just don't see, I honestly don't know if there's gonna be much of a difference between.
If there isn't, then we've done everything we can for her,
Yes.
and that's the end of it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That's the concept, that-
I'd split the difference and do 30 days. I could agree to that pretty easily.
Well, why don't we, that's fine. I mean, somebody make the motion. I can't make the
No, you
motion.
can.
I'll make a motion, to give a 30-day extension.
We have a motion for, motion, do we have a second?
I second that.
Motion and second, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
2 nays, motion carries. Okay, so she's been given a 30-day extension. If, you know the drill, if that's not cleaned up in 30 days, we'll see you back here in 30 days.
You have a 30-day extension, 30 days, okay?
All right, thank you. Good luck. Okay, back to the beginning. Bill. Case number 230947.
Excuse me? Can we just do a case that Joe Ferris is for?
Can we?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
He needs to wait until the end.
That would be my case, which would be 2234.
Hang on a second.
West River Drive.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can get Joe to go.
Sure.
He doesn't wanna hang out.
All right. So case number 232234, City versus Home SFR, Barrow LLC, for the property located at 605 West River Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-4B7, nuisance tree. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening. Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated from a neighbor's complaint to the city arborist, Joe Ferris, that his neighbor's tree poses a potential risk to his home. Inspection by Joe Ferris on May 1st, 2023, noted that the 65-inch laurel oak tree is dead and decaying, in which the tree does pose a risk to the neighbor's structure. On May 2nd, 2023, I prepared a notice of violation with a compliance date of June 1st, 2023. I had Jose Silva post a notice at the front door of the rental property, and I also requested copies to be sent out certified in first-class mail. I also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. My inspection on June 1st noted no change. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence that was taken by me on May 30th by me, on May 30th by me, and the photo was taken by Jose Silva on June 1st, 2023. Both photos show the large tree overhanging the neighbor's structure.
We'll accept those, thank you. So is that all one tree we're looking at?
The tree.
You could go back to the.
Photo number 1 is the tree on the left-hand side. As you see, that's the neighbor's structure to the left.
Is that all one tree?
No, there's another tree in the front there.
Okay. So
gonna say
the tree with the green is not the tree that in question, it's the.
That's the tree in question.
That's the tree in question, okay.
Yes. And that's the tree from the school behind the home. There's
Okay.
there's a parking lot right there.
Wow.
That shows the tree there.
And that,
And that's the structure to the neighbor's structure there.
The brown.
Is right underneath it.
the brown one, the brown
So the
house.
brown is the neighbor's tree.
Yes, yep. It's a huge
Big,
tree.
Yeah.
Okay. So the inspection this morning noted no change, and therefore the property remains out of compliance. The arborist is here tonight to answer any questions by the board.
Come on up. I do have just one question for you. So the only remedy is for it to come down?
Yes, that, in my opinion, it would be, the green that you do see on there is the water sprouts that are on the leads that are in the center of the tree. If you follow those out to the end, there's complete dieback, some rot decay in some of those. And there are several of them are pretty good size. And then you can see in that photo, it's about a quarter of the house that is covered with those limbs. So it's just a matter of time of when those are going to fail. And it's not only the house to the south, which is the 607, 607. 605 also has limbs over that. So there's potential targets to both homes and threat to that health, safety, and welfare of the residents.
Is there an option aside from just bringing the whole tree down, like to just bring certain branches or anything, or is it the only remedy to do the whole thing?
The property owner could. I mean, they could alleviate what's there hanging over the neighbor's property.
Okay.
And they could take off, but at that point, by the time you start taking that off, the entire tree probably should start coming down.
Okay.
It's just, it's gotten to that
The
point.
tree itself is dead.
Yeah, it's in decline. It's seen its better life. It's a laurel oak, so they're short-lived.
Go ahead, Bill.
So, as far as any permits required, because this is a nuisance tree, there's no permit required by the owner. They just,
Like this.
whatever the cost of taking the tree down
Yeah,
by.
this would fall under that section of the code that it becomes a nuisance and a safety for both residents.
So the only cost to the homeowner is to get the tree removed.
With the cost of removing the tree. Yes.
Thanks.
Just for the purposes of the record, Mr. Terrace, did you say that there are already limbs falling? I don't know that there are limbs that are falling, but there are rot and decay that you can see in there. The what they call conchs, they're like a mushroom. It's growing on there from what's decaying inside those limbs. I don't know that any have fallen yet that I've seen, but. And you're a certified arborist? Yes.
And in your opinion?
In my opinion, yes, in my opinion, it's definitely dangerous. That it's just a matter of time with the way it's decaying, particularly in the laurel oaks and the way they all kind of cluster together. A matter of time that one of those are going to fail at some point.
Okay.
Which ones and which way they're going to go, it's hard to say, but it's quite a large tree.
Okay. Any other questions? Go ahead.
This is maybe for Tom. I think you might have covered this. How was this violation come into existence? How did it come to
The neighbor
Complaint.
complained to Joe Terrace.
I see.
Yes, at 607.
Sure. Any communication with the property owner?
No.
No communications.
No, it's a rental property, and the ownership is a LLC out of state.
I see. Okay. All right. Good. Thank.
Any other questions?
Sure. Thank you.
And of course, the respondent's not here, right? Okay.
Well, I do have one more question.
Go right ahead.
And in your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is this a grade situation? Is the gravity of the situation
It depends on, the right type of storm that comes through. Yes, it could be. It's the size of the tree between those two homes and it's spanning. It's a threat to either one of the homes. It's not just the neighbor, that rental
Not a-
property, and the renters that are
Not a
there.
matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Exactly. It's just a matter of, yes.
Okay. No other questions? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 23-2234, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 605 West River Drive in the applicable code sections 10-4B7. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from code enforcement officers and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before July 12th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $250 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second? Second. Motion second, any further discussion?
I'd like to, would it be possible, I know I seconded it, but would it be possible to make it effective within a week rather than a month? I know we don't meet before then, but I think code enforcement could check to see if any progress has been done. You know, this has the potential to destroy somebody's house. I don't, and it could happen within the next month based off of Joe's testimony.
I wouldn't recommend that because it's an out-of-state owner. To be fair to the ownership, I mean, you gotta give them reasonable amount of time to get the letter, the order. So I don't think another 30 days. I know we're coming into hurricane season. Yes, I hear you.
It's gonna take a week for the notice to even get to them.
Did they not get a notice in last month?
They got a notice of violation.
They got a notice of violation that
They
there's a
have to
tree.
get the order, the general.
They haven't, but the order will take at least another week.
Well, so I guess my point is they got a notice that said you've got a tree on your property that poses a serious.
Yeah, but the notice is not an indication of a violation. It's not a violation until we hear it.
So I guess the point is that this is a very grave situation, relatively speaking, and no steps have been taken to remedy it, and it poses significant property risk.
Yes, but until tonight, they were not found to be in violation of anything.
Part of the reason why I gave 30 days too is, with the exception of if the tree is already down on a house, companies can't come out today. They're not going to come out tomorrow unless it's already on the house. They have a delay in that system unless it's an emergency scenario. So it's like, even if they try to get someone out, it's extremely unlikely. So the 30 days, that's part of it too, is that gives them time to at least get somebody out there, because again, unless the tree falls, which hopefully it doesn't, but unless the tree falls tonight, nobody's coming out tomorrow.
True.
So which is why I gave the 30 days.
Okay, so we have a motion or a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point, definitely. Less than 30 days. I would like actually less than 30 days because I think it's a grave situation. But I see that it might be not possible. I just don't want that on my conscience if this tree,
Yeah, but I
that
think
tree
even
falls.
if we were to say, yeah,
Right.
and I understand what you're saying, but the practicality of the matter is, there's no way that anything can happen within the next week or two.
Yeah.
Unless, like you said, unless the tree comes down.
I mean, minimum 2 weeks. That's industry standard.
And up until tonight, there's been a notice of violation, but there's been no adjudication of that violation until tonight. So until you guys vote, there is no violation.
Agreed.
So
I would just say, like, if they don't, I mean, we know that we've done the max penalty that we can do.
hopefully when they get the notice that they will.
Oh, like I said, my concern is that somebody could lose their house over this.
Oh, 100%.
And, I mean, they've had a month to remedy the situation, even though it wasn't illegal and it wasn't a violation. They've known that this is kind of a moral quandary that they could have remedied, and they chose not to.
Whose motion was it?
It was my
It was your motion.
And I
So
said-
are you amenable to 15 days?
I could do 15 days. I mean, that's going to be pushing it really tight, and I might get a little leeway if they come in at like 21 days. Maybe not. I mean, because again,
your motion.
I know that you said we're not supposed to talk about how smart we are, but having been in that industry, it's going to take them a week to get the notice, and then it's going to take them more than a week to get somebody out there.
I'm in favor of the 30 days, just in case you want some support.
Like, I mean, again,
I think the practicality of the matter is, by the time it's the 30 days is probably, I understand, I hear what all of you are saying, and I don't disagree that, there's a limb could be coming off that tree as we speak. We get that. But the practicality of the matter is, we still owe them due process. And the the way things work with me signing the order, getting it out in the mail, it's gonna take a couple of weeks for him to even get the notice. So 30 days, I think, is fair to all the parties involved. Hopefully, somebody will let somebody know that they were found guilty tonight. Maybe somebody's watching, and that'll maybe move things along a little faster.
Or, I mean, at least potentially could the tenant be informed to then inform, because they probably have a contact at the property owners, or?
I have an email address for the property manager. So to be fair, we will do everything we can to expedite that email, okay? You got a holiday coming up on Monday.
Right.
I'm
Monday?
going away, so, and Jen's gonna be away, so.
What's Monday?
The 9th.
Oh,
Juneteenth, yeah.
Okay, Juneteenth, okay.
So, but I will do my best to expedite the email to the. property manager.
Sorry, I rolled my eyes.
Yeah, I mean.
We hear you.
Yeah.
We all hear you. I
roll my
understand. I appreciate your aggressive approach.
Had the owner been here with us, like right now, I would say 15 days. Like get up there with a chainsaw if you have to. But knowing that there's this process involved, we have to, like the chairman said, we have to give due process, and we have to give them time to react. So, I mean, I'll stick to the 30 days.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
We had a second.
I think we had a
Second, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Okay, next case, please.
I couldn't vote nay. I couldn't second it and vote nay, though. That just seemed too weird.
Next case,
I get it.
should be 230947.
Case number 23-0947, City versus Nifon Sukan and Afaron Warnus for the property located at 5216 Temple Heights Road. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-34, sanitation, keep premises clean, Section 12-901, pools maintained in good condition, and Section 10-3B, sanitation, grass, weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence of the notice of violation and notice of hearing properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on February 17th, 2023 for debris accumulation, pool not being maintained, and overgrown condition. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of March 3rd. My reinspection on April 13th showed no change, so a notice of violation was generated on that date with a reinspection date of April 24th. 2023. I posted the notice at the residence. A notice was also posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed both certified and regular mail to the address of the owner of record. On May 23rd, my reinspection showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the June Municipal Code Board meeting. I've had no contact from the property owner or their representatives. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the site taken by myself on April 13th and May 23rd, 2023.
We'll accept those, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows debris accumulation. Exhibit number 3 shows debris accumulation. Sorry about that. Exhibit number 4 shows the unmaintained pool. The site is in partial compliance as the site has been mowed, so one of the 3 violations is in current compliance. So I am submitting a affidavit of compliance for the grass.
Okay. Has this property been in front of us before? That pool looks familiar. Yeah.
It has, but it's been a while. It's been 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
I think it might have been for grass or debris on the carport.
Just the pool just looks familiar.
The one that had
I
the
know, I
work
took
van.
it back, that's pretty good.
Yeah, maybe that.
I
Yeah.
had a pool that looked like that on it.
Okay.
I took it like 10 years ago.
Work van that was in the back.
It's outside the 5 years.
All right, maybe just another property had a similar type of pool. Okay,
Unmaintained, completely open to be owned.
okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, so there's no safety concerns with the
No,
pool.
the pool is fenced. I mean, the yard is fenced, so there's no direct access to the pool.
But the violation is due to water in the pool and mosquitoes and that
Yeah,
type of
it's just
stuff.
pool's green.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody living there?
Doesn't appear to be. There was someone living there about the time I started all this, but since then, I have not seen any vehicles there for an extended period of time.
Okay. Any other questions for the code officer?
So the grass, the only thing that was corrected, which
Right,
is,
the only violation is or that's in compliance is the grass.
which section is the 10-3?
10-3B.
That's been complied with?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, Doug. So the fencing, pretty good condition? Is it-
Yeah, it's a chain link fence, and it's an older one. It seems very solid.
Except is that a ladder that goes over it?
Sorry, just.
Is that, we were talking about it doesn't have access, and then it was like, oh, right up and over.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a framework for like a stand or something.
Oh, okay.
Not a ladder. Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you.
Perfect timing.
In case number 23-0947, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 5216 Temple Terrace Heights Road with a applicable code section 10-34 and section 12-901 and section 10-3 subsection B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Douglas Allen, and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed for the violation of Code Section 10-3 subsection B because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violations be corrected on or before July 12, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day violations continue past the date for the compliance upon the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator. I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I know I've talked a lot on this. It's free to,
Okay.
feel free to ignore me. I'd like to just see a higher fine. I'd like to see $75 per day. I don't like, maybe it's a personal thing. I don't like the pool. I don't like stagnant pools. I think it's a blight on the state of Florida. And when they're not maintained, it makes life miserable for everybody within like a 5-mile radius.
And the mosquitoes, yeah, that's kind of.
Who made the motion?
I did. I don't mind upping it to even $100 per day, but I was trying to be a little balanced. They did an effort. That's why if they did not do the partial compliance, I would have made it more than that, way more than that. But I can see that they're putting an effort, so I did not want them to be thinking that we're just being mean or nasty. I don't know.
That's fair. And I don't mean to pick on your Red. Sorry.
No, it's okay. How many violations?
There are two.
Two. So it should be 50, in my opinion.
That's what he said, yeah.
That's why I also based it on our regular. So I want to keep it at 50, just to and I did not hear any like great complaints from Tom or on that. So.
Okay, so we have a motion and we have a second. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please. 23-1560.
Disagree.
No, it's good discussion.
Case Case number 23-1560, City versus Albert and Aleda Lambert for the property located at 7502 North Sanibel Circle. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12-860, an operative vehicle, outdoor storage equipment. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on March 23rd, 2023. My inspection at the time noted a Nissan parked in the driveway of the residence with no tag. This time I left the door hanger with a compliance date of March 26, 2023. On March 27, 2023, I received a call from Mr. Lambert requesting more time. I granted him an extension until April 4, 2023. My inspection on April 4, 2023 revealed no change, so a notice of violation was completed with a compliance date of April 10, 2023. I responded to the residents with the notice and obtained service on Mr. Lambert. My inspection on May 3, 2023 revealed no change. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the vehicle in the driveway of the residence.
Accept that, thank you.
Photo number 1 is the Nissan on the left. Photo number 2 is the rear of the Nissan showing no tag. And as of today's date, the vehicle is gone from the property, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Nice.
Very good, we'll accept that. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions for the code officer?
Good timing on that.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Yep, okay. In case number 231560, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 7502 North Sanibel Circle, with the applicable code violation being Section 12-860. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Jose Silva, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please. Case number 23-2392.
Case number 23-2392, City versus Jewish Enrichment Center for the property located at 13105 North 52nd Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3B, sanitation grass weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on May the 8th, 2023. My inspection revealed the front and rear yard grass overgrown. At that time, I left the door hanger with the compliance date of the 12th of May, 2023. My inspection on the 15th of May, 2023 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of May 23rd, 2023. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on May 16th, 2023.
We'll accept those, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit 2 shows the front yard overgrown. Exhibit 3, rear yard overgrown. Exhibit number 4, also rear yard overgrown. Exhibit number 5 shows the northwest side of the front yard overgrown. Exhibit 6, south side of front yard overgrown. As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
Any contact at all with the owner?
No, sir, I have not had any contact with the owner, and just This is the property that the RV is still at the site, and it's came before the board. The RV remains still at the house, and
Two of your pictures, it looks like. Yeah.
so now the grass is overgrown. But no, sir, I haven't had any contact from the owner. I have not seen anybody home. One car is on the driveway, but I don't see anybody outside, and I haven't seen any other vehicles that are
The
there.
RV case, that's accruing a fine as we speak, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. We got a question.
Yeah, I couldn't tell in some of those pictures, was like part of the lawn mowed?
I don't think so, David. Just there's a lot of weeds. So some, depending on what kind of weed it is, it may get a little higher. Some are a little bit lower. It could have been the angle that I took it at. It's definitely overgrown front and rear, and it's going to definitely be even higher in 30 days.
I gotcha. So I guess the point was that didn't look like they had partially mowed their lawn and just left the rest to rot. None of it's been done.
No, sir, it hasn't.
Go ahead.
So you think nobody's living there?
I don't think so.
We know that there is water and electric. Are they bills are being paid and stuff like that?
Sir, I don't know if the bills are being paid. All I know is the grass is overgrown and that RV is still there.
It's been for how long?
The grass has been overgrown for a little bit. The
The
RV,
RV's been there since December.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm worried about this property. It's like, are they still alive or something?
Oh, it's,
I don't know. I haven't had any communication with the owner of record. I've left my correspondence at the door and haven't received a phone call.
December, nobody's there, so.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
All right, in case number 23-2392, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 13105 North 52nd Street.
Hold on, it's 13102,
Where did I say
105.
Mine says 5.
Mine says 2, which one's right?
It's 13105.
105.
Okay, mine says 13102.
Okay.
Okay.
Bigger font than we do.
Okay, so I said it correctly, right?
Yeah, you said it correctly.
Okay.
It's wrong on mine.
This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before July 12, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. That is the end of our new business. On to unfinished.
Okay, case number 22-5967, City versus Vincent Grybuscus Sr. and Vincent Grybuscus Jr. for the property located at 7609 Leon Avenue. The deadline for compliance was May 10th, 2023. An affidavit of non-compliance was submitted by Officer Silver for Section 8-10213B, dated May 11th, 2023. Case number 22-6253, City versus Laurelon Village of Meadowood Condo Association for the property located at 8700 Meadowood Boulevard. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 22-6420, City versus Elise M. Tate for the property located at 11102 North 61st Street. The deadline for compliance was May 10th, 2023. An affidavit of non-compliance was submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-28A1, dated May 11th, 2023. An affidavit of compliance was later submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-28A1, dated June 9th, 2023. Case number 23-0339, City versus Shahan Properties LLC for the property located at 12601 North 56th Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 23-0638, City versus Nafiz and Zina Ahmad for the property located at 10029 North 52nd Street. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Section 8-10213B dated May 29th, 2023. Case number 23-1265, City versus PPG-DT Temple Terrace LLC for the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Boulevard. The deadline for compliance was May 10th, 2023. An affidavit of non-compliance was submitted by Officer Silver for sections 12-1047, 12-1047, 12-1048, 8-1668B, and 10-31 dated May 11th, 2023. Case number 23-1334, City versus Catherine Lockwood Fleming for the property located at 206 Greencastle Avenue. The deadline for compliance was May 10th, 2023. An affidavit of non-compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Section 8-10213C dated May 11th, 2023.
Good, thank you.
I also have two cases not on the agenda.
Okay.
Case number 21-0786, City versus James L. Evans and Joyce A.G. Evans for the property located at 11305 East Queensway Drive. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Officer Smith for Section 8-10213B, dated April 27th, 2023. This case is no longer an active lien. Case number 21-1177, City versus Nicholas Drew Teeling and Rachel Teeling for the property located at 716 Druid Hills Road. An affidavit of compliance has been submitted by Director Tom Baroni for Section 8-28A1. This case is also no longer on the active liens list.
Great.
Yes. Yes, there's. Correct. You did. Was it all? Was it for?
You said it's midnight tonight.
Yeah, was it all?
Yes.
Okay, that was for the whole day. Okay.
Somebody's mic. Is it you again?
It's you again.
All right.
Repeat violator.
Not yet.
Uh-oh.
All right. So that's the end of old cases? Okay. Any other board action? Any new business? Not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Got some new business.
You have some new business, okay.
Well, I think this is my last meeting. My term ends this, and I don't think I'll be seeking another term. So I wanted to thank everyone. I wanted to thank
Thank you.
David, the rest of the board, Bill, thank you, Ryan, city attorney, thank you so much, and Tom, of course, and the officers as well. Thank you, guys.
Could always be an alternate. We need those too. But thank you. It's been a pleasure serving with you, and if there's anything we can do to change your mind, just say it.
Well, now we're gonna need a vice chair, right?
We'll do that next meeting, yeah.
So what do we, like, usual fight for that, or? It's just
Bare knuckles.
Bribes are good. Bribes are good.
that is entered into the official record.
Now, we will accept, the way it works, we will accept nominees, and then we'll vote, so.
I think the pay is twice.
Pays twice is what the,
Yeah.
Hey, according
Yeah.
to my math, that'll make you a millionaire.
that's right.
Yeah. I want you to calculate.
You get twice as much as you get as a regular member.
I want him to calculate my salary, please, yes.
Okay, any other new business? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? We are adjourned. Thank you. And